This was one of the worst Eagles performance I have ever witnessed in my life. And growing up, I was an Eagles fan since I was like 5, right? I remember Michael Vick, Nick Foles, Sam Bradford, Mark Sanchez. We had all these quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, I'm a Jalen guy. But this was the worst performance I've ever seen from a quarterback. There was a stat where if he spiked the ball every play, his QBR rating would have been higher than him actually trying against the Chargers. It was insane. And you can't put all of the blame on Jalen Hurts, but you could put most of it, all right? But A.J. Brown dropped 3 major passes, one of them leading into an interception. Right? And A.J. Brown, throughout the season, has been complaining about his targets. When you look at it, all of his best games, we've lost. Every game where he scored 2 touchdowns or had over 100 yards, we lost the game. And I guarantee you A.J. Brown was probably happy. The fact that he got his touchdowns, the fact that he got his 100 yards, it's disgusting. And he does this a lot. Like last year, I'm pretty sure, is that the year where he brought out the book? He was mad on the sideline. He had to read a book to calm himself down. And I understand people have their problems and issues, but you have to control yourself. The facial expressions you see throughout the game where he's not getting the ball, he's pouting. No one wants to watch that. No one wants to play with a player that does that. And when A.J. Brown does that, right, Jalen Hurts is like, dang, I got to feed this guy the ball. And most of the time, he's only looking at A.J. Brown when you have a Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. In my opinion, Dallas Goedert is one of the best tight ends in the league. Devontae Smith is one of the best receiver 2s in the league. And honestly, I think Devontae is a better receiver than A.J. Brown. That may be controversial. I don't know. Devontae has better hands. He has more heart. When it comes to blocking, A.J. Brown does not block, even though A.J. Brown's bigger. And let's talk about Kevin Patillo, whatever his name is, the offensive coordinator. The only play he decides to run is inside zone, right? What happened to the tight end screens? Getting your tight end involved, Dallas Goedert, who's a very mobile, agile tight end, who's a great blocker, but also can run. Devontae Smith, do some drag routes with him. Same with A.J. Brown. Get them in space, have them catch the ball, and let them get some yardage after the catch, right? Like, I've never seen a play, and I'm like, wow, that's a well-designed play. That looked like they practiced that a million times. No, not one. And the tush push, people like to gas that up. Honestly, at this point, I don't even want to see the tush push again. Every time you do a tush push, it should be a fake. I don't care. Do a QB sneak or run the ball with Saquon. I'm done, right? It's cute. It's funny when we're winning games. But when we're losing games, don't even run the tush push. Don't run it. Don't think of it. Back to A.J. Brown and his blocking. You cannot win games when this is your effort. You're going to let Devontae Smith, who is 160 pounds, get drilled by 2 guys. This is the type of teammate A.J. Brown is. When he doesn't get the ball, this is what he does. And the fact that the Eagles can't get Saquon involved, and I know last game he had over 100 yards, but without that long rushing touchdown, he would have had another rough game. The fact that this guy had one of the best, or probably the best, rushing season ever for our running back. He was less than 100 yards from breaking the record. He won a Super Bowl and was the best player on the team. And now it looks like he can't even run the ball past 5 yards each carry. It's crazy, right? But you look at it, you put the blame on the offensive coordinator, right? You look at the runs designed for Saquon, it's just up the middle. And then we're going to do a fake tush push toss. Maybe we should do a little more tosses. Maybe that looks like that works. You know, Saquon is pretty fast. And we do have agile linemen like a Mailata, a guy who is 6'6" and played rugby. Maybe we should do a little more tosses. Maybe we should do a running back screen. These are things that I don't see. We did one toss that I can remember, and it was a touchdown. Can we please diversify our playbook? Because honestly, it's looking like these teams know what we're going to do every play. So many 3 and outs. And Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. He has a Super Bowl under his belt. But you expect a Super Bowl quarterback to get better week after week. The Eagles had 11 days to prepare for the Chargers, and they came out looking trash. That should not happen, especially coming off of a loss. A bad loss. And the offense has not looked good this whole year. The defense, the Eagles defense, I have to give them credit. Really, really good, especially against the Chargers. They kept the Eagles in the game throughout the whole game and the game before. Many of these games, the defense is the only reason why they've won all of their games. So people who, you know, if they want to hate on the defense, I really can't. I don't see it. I don't see how you can hate on this defense. The defensive line is constantly bringing pressure. I'm pretty sure there was over 6 sacks last game, which is really good.
The fact that you lost is insane. 4 interceptions, a fumble for Jalen Hurts. It's unacceptable. It really is. There's no defending it. For all the Hurts fans, I'm a Hurt fan. I love Jalen Hurts. But this was the worst performance I've ever seen by a quarterback. And I've seen Carson Wentz just chuck up the ball in the air many times. Take 10 sacks. And I would rather see that Carson Wentz than what I just saw what I just saw from Jalen Hurts. Now, the one person I did not speak of throughout this video, and I want to talk about this person because he is the head coach, Nick Sirianni. Now, if I asked you a question, what does Nick Sirianni do in game? Okay. He throws the challenge flags. That's his job. Okay. What else? What else? He doesn't pick any of the plays. Maybe he does pick the plays, but he's not the one in charge of the offense. We have an offensive coordinator, right? You have a defensive coordinator in Vic Fangio who is doing the best job he can. Nick Sirianni needs to step up. This is getting to a point where you cannot rely on this guy, Kevin, who is killing this offense. Last year, we had one of the best offenses in the league, one of the best rushing offenses. Now we're struggling to rush the ball. We're struggling to pass the ball, right? Usually, we can run or pass, right? Usually, maybe you're struggling with the pass, but you're a good rushing team. We're not good at either. That's a problem. And Nick Sirianni, it's coming to what you have to step up. You have to step up. You have to become an offensive coach because that's what he is. He really is an offensive coach, but he doesn't call the plays. That's weird. It's a waste of time. Every year when we make it to the Super Bowl, they take our offensive coordinator and we have to get a new one. And instead of getting a new offensive coordinator every year, maybe Sirianni just take charge of the offense, man. Just take charge of the offense. What are we waiting for? We have a new playbook every single year, and that can be hard for a quarterback who constantly has to change his habits, or not change habits, but change the plays, have different play calling signals and all this other stuff. That could be annoying. That can be annoying to learn a new signal every single year and have to learn whole different playbooks and different philosophies of football. Nick Sirianni, just step up, man. Become the play caller. Create your own plays. I'm tired of getting these new guys and then they leave 2 years after because we win a Super Bowl and they get a head coaching job or something like that. So Sirianni, take charge. And that's going to be the end of the video. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. And I will be making more videos about all types of sports. I am an Eagles fan, but I will be covering the NFL, the NBA, maybe some soccer, especially when the World Cups come. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about. All right. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.